Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I want to do something new on the channel and talk about books. And one of the first books that I want to talk about is Mastery by Robert Greene. So I literally finished this book yesterday, and that's a good thing because it's still fresh in my mind. And there's only like a few things I want to talk about with this book. And first of all, I highly recommend it. If you haven't read it, read it. And if you have read it, maybe just read it again, just to skim through it, because there are very good messages and advice that can be taken from this book to help you on whatever journey you're trying to like go through in life. Any lost goals, any inspiration that's missing, I definitely think you will find it in this book. Um, like I say, a book is not going to solve all your problems, but it will definitely get you like interested in having new perspectives and angles and trying new things, strategizing. I think that's the best way to put it. Like sometimes you're not going to have all the solutions to life, but when you have new strategies, all of a sudden it feels like you can start doing things differently than what you would have believed before. And part of that is like what you feel like after you read this book, that like if you are on the journey to mastery, you're gonna start out um, spending time with yourself, honestly, in a way where it's like you're almost isolating yourself, but not necessarily like for a long time, but just enough time to just know what it is you really want to do. So uh, it's not like explicitly stated in the book either that that's absolutely necessary to isolate for like a year or two. It's not, there's not like a definitive number. If you already know what you really want to do in life, you can talk to as many friends, but what's important is to not forget your goal. Like what you really want to achieve? What's your mountain to climb? Is it to be a CEO, a doctor? Like it can be literally anything. So this book, it goes through parts where it's like becoming an apprentice, learning from your mentors, choosing your mentors wisely, being humble while learning. Um, you see some interesting connections from this book and probably 48 Laws of Power if you've read that one too. Also a great book that I would recommend. Just don't outshine your master and certain things like that. Like you just always want to be humble, and the time to shine is when you're becoming your own master. I like whatever it is you want to do, right? Like get into business or um, just literally anything. Working out, getting fit. It There's like really no limit, honestly. And that might sound like a really too good to be true type of thing for some people. And like I said, like this book will generally guide you to the direction of like get a mentor, learn what you can, absorb what you can, learn, apply, fail, learn again until like you actually succeed. Because oftentimes we're not gonna just get it right the first time. Like it may take many tries before we actually see the results we want to see out in life. And being a master depends on your skill level. So if let's say like you have a basic understanding of math and you want to teach calculus, it's going to take a long time to become a master if you're not naturally good at math. If you're not naturally just understanding formulas to want to teach calculus and you only understand basic arithmetic, then you have to acknowledge your skill gap and what's realistically possible each day to get closer to your goal. So I would say that it's like not being like naive or totally delusional, but realizing that if you want to do something, you can do it, but you have to realize the time and effort it's going to take to get there, and then like finding the right people to support you, letting your work speak for itself, like absorb as much information, practice, apply what you learn, and eventually you will succeed, even though you may fail many times. Um, a lot of times the things that are most worthwhile aren't gonna just, it's not just gonna come easily. You're not just gonna succeed all of a sudden and just rake in all this money and success. Like, it's a process that takes probably years for most people. This can be expedited for other people who are naturally gifted and work hard. But if you're not naturally gifted, but are like you're able to work hard, then you know this could take, like I said, many years. And also, like, people say work smart, but the thing is that you can work smart too, but that doesn't take away the difficulty gap of what you need to learn, what you need to be able to financially, not financially, but like emotionally, like deal with. Um, like, and certain things, yeah, it could be a financial gap too. Like, let's say you want to be a mechanic and you don't have money for tools, like you're gonna start making a budget to get tools until you can get the more expensive tools. So it's like something like that too. Like, it's not that I can completely eliminate finances too, but it's like being smart with money, being good with money, learning about finances, like whatever it is you need to learn about. This book just gives you that general pool that, you know, if you learn what you can about the things that you want to achieve in life, you can do that. But you need to be realistic, set small goals to reach your big goal, and that it is possible. You just have to like kind of have that imagination the same way a kid would, but as an adult you just have to apply it differently, in the sense that you need to have a system that you follow in order to get from point A to point B. So that's how I would sum up this book. I think it deserves, I said a 9 out of 10 on social media, but the more I think about it, I honestly think it's a 10 out of 10. It's a really great book, and I think it deserves to be read by more people. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.